Hi there folks, Borislav 24/7 here with another Days Gone Challenge Mode video. And this one, it's fair to say, is pretty special. Because this is what I consider to be the ultimate Days Gone Challenges speedrun. Not only am I going to be taking out every one of these challenges to a gold score, which I have done before, but I'm also going to be taking out every single sub-challenge to a gold standard. This all of a sudden changes everything. Not only in terms of strategies for going about how to get things done on particular challenges, but obviously it's going to take a little bit longer, especially with the Endless Horde challenges, because they have some rather nasty, brutal sub-challenges that do take quite a bit of time to do. So there is going to be a lot of strategies coming into play in trying to get all of these done in what I consider to be the quickest ways possible. Now, for taking out the gold scores alone, I have managed to do all of these in just under 50 minutes. But factoring in all the sub-challenges, I always thought that a time of under 1 hour and 30 minutes was going to be a very good target. And it proved to be that way, because the first couple of runs that I did, I was 5 or 6 minutes outside that target time every time. And it turned out one or two of the challenges I'd not been doing in very good ways, especially Survive, which was infuriating me because I was taking way longer than what I should have been compared to how I've done it in the past. But with a few modifications on certain challenges, I managed to produce what I consider to be a pretty stunning time, even if I do say so myself. I'm a fairly modest guy, but trust me when I say, for anyone looking to get to the time that I managed to do all 12 of these in, it's going to be a tough ask. There'll be people out there that can do it. You've got some very talented gamers. You've also got some very talented speedrunners. Can't possibly mention speedrunners without mentioning the legend who is Enzo 2. You've also got DM Talon, who I believe has the world record for the quickest speedrun for completing the North. As well as this, you've got some amazing Days Gone Challenge Mode gamers that could give this a serious shot. And I will mention a few potentials here. I'm going to start with Horde Slayer. This gent, as everybody knows, is the Endless Horde master, and as well as this, has come up with some of the best strats ever for the Ambush Camp Rush challenge. If this gent brushed up on his biking skills, I think he could be a threat. But not only that, you've got some absolute bona fide legends of the Days Gone challenges who feature on virtually every leaderboard. I am talking about Cash Grab, Graysoul Z, EK6420, Ian Murphy, MC Enterprise, and there's a whole load of others, but those 5 in particular, any one of those gamers could give this a serious shot, because they're all very proficient at all of these challenges. But something for you all to think about. But anyhow, just about to get to the action. Just one other thing that I want to do in terms of naming, and that is to one of my viewers that goes by the name of DJ Garth 1210. This gent came up with the idea for doing this very recently, I might add, and I can't thank you enough, my friend. I thought it was such a good idea. I can't believe I never thought of doing this myself beforehand, that I thought, yeah, I've just got to do this. And before I get to the action, very important to point out, I am playing this on a PlayStation 5 Pro. So, without any further ado, let's get right to the action. Okay, I'm ready to rock and roll. The only thing I have to do now is to select the challenges, and that's it. The clock will then start ticking. Every second will count. So, here we go. This is going to be fast and furious. I'm going to be starting with the Ambush Camp Rush challenge, and this is going to require 2 runs. There's 2 challenges throughout this entire video that take 2 runs in order to do them. I always knew this was going to be one of them, and Reload is going to be the other. But I always start with the ambush camp rush because it is the most problematic. If you are going to get a challenge where anything seriously goes wrong, it's going to be this one. Because there is, as most people that play this challenge know, a heavy amount of luck involved once things get going. There is so many things that can go wrong. And I'm looking on this first run to take care of the sub-challenges that are for Berserk and Camp Ghost. Ideally, or more to the point, I'm expecting to get a gold score as well because of taking out these sub-challenges. And a potential added bonus would be if I could also take out the sub-challenge that is called Quick and Painful. That requires you to take out the entire camp in 3 minutes and 30 seconds or less. But I've had a few practice runs. That isn't always possible. You really have to see how things go. But the way I'm starting all this off is a very tried and tested method by the master that is Horslayer on this. Because this really does, you're hitting very specific targets and they are all doing a very good job. With the exception of the last one that I hit with a residue bolt, it's just because I had one spare, and I'm expecting with all the ones that currently have been hit with residue bolts, I'm expecting them to get 13 kills. Already I'm looking at this, fantastic, 7 of 13, because that is the required target for that particular one. But obviously the Camp Ghost is probably the toughest sub-challenge of the lot, or certainly the longest in terms of actually getting it completed. Because there are 25 Marauders in this camp, and in order to get the gold for the Camp Ghost, you've got to take out 24 of them without alerting the camp. Now, I'm having to hold back here because there are 1 or 2 here that aren't under the influence of the residue bolt. If they see you, they will alert the camp. But the ones that are under the influence, yeah, you've got no problems. You can run past them. They can shoot at you, but it doesn't matter. They will not alert the camp. So at this point, I've already got the 13 kills with residue bolts and that for the Berserk challenge, so that's great. That one now is done with. I really wanted the person that he was fighting to get killed. The other one might actually be alright because he's got a lot of armor on, but this is why I was so keen to get to this section here. I wanted to get the suppressor for the BFG, and yeah, that Marauder looked like they had glitched. Either that or they'd just seen something really interesting. But anyhow, I'm looking at the time here, and all of a sudden this 3 minutes 30 or less is on. I've only got 7 kills remaining, and I know a lot of the very experienced gamers on this one actually try to take out this entire camp just with residue bolts, but I like to take away a little bit of chance and give a little bit of certainty back by using the sniper rifle. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but I trust my shooting ability when I get the chance, and this now is very much on. There's only 3 of them left, and yep, go on. Nice. Now I've got 10 seconds. Where the bloody hell is this last one? Yep, I'm not seeing anything on the mini-map. I've got the sniper rifle at the ready. Where the hell are they? There we go. Am I going to... And that is how I know I got them. When I first shot that, I wasn't 100% sure, but the 10,000 bonus that come up, that shows me that I just got it. I'd have to watch back on the video to see just how many, because I'm sure it was actually on 330, but it just didn't go to 331. But anyhow, on to the second run. Because I have taken out virtually everything there, the only sub-challenge now that I require to take out, and this one is a bit of a crazy-ass one, it is called Crafty. You need to take out 13 of the Marauders using your throwables and whatnot in order to get this done. So this is going to be a lot less about residue bolts, although I am going to get 2 of the Marauders under my, well, under the influence. The first one is always that guy, because he's just plain dangerous if you leave him without getting him under the influence. And he creates a very nice distraction. Yep, camp's alerted there, I don't care. I've already got the Camp Ghost taken care of. The other one here is, yeah, this one right here. another one that will just zero in on you all the time, and he can put your lights out very quickly. But there's certain areas where I can pick up more things. Yep, there's mines there, and just missed getting walloped off that marauder. So I'm just going to get in here, try and get a little bit of cover. Just assess. Right, okay, let's just get back out there. I do like using these mines. Okay, so far so good. I've got 6 of the 13. And yeah, I need health. Something I constantly don't pay enough attention to. Now, it did cross my mind to go and actually get the BFG just to make some things a little bit easier, but you know what, it's really more just about time here. Because I have the luxury that I don't have to take out the entire camp here, yeah, that influenced my decision to just keep going the way I am here. But certain stashes here of things will get me various items. So I've still got 2 grenades, 1 proximity mine, but there is another load of items down here that'll get me a bit more. So I'm looking to get into this area here. Let's see what I can do here. Can I get the both of them? Nope, I've only got the one. And it's starting to get a little bit problematic here. I don't have that much left. I really need to... I was about to say I really need to get to the next section where I can get a few more items. And yeah, that's not a major problem there. It's just wasted a few seconds. Let's see what I can do with that grenade. Yep, again, to sort the health. Unfortunately for this particular one, when you're doing it like this, yeah, it is a little bit crazy. You are going to take damage. You just have to run with it. And okay, now I'm looking pretty damn good. Although I've got nothing left here, but the next lot, stash-wise, up ahead, does have more items. So, and yeah, I've only got half my health. My stamina's gone. I don't have anything for the stamina cocktails. But here we go. Now I've got some more items. And I'm coming up here. And yeah, there we go. I've got another one. That's glitched. You know what? I'm going to take full advantage of this. Yep. And there we go. That's it. Job done. Thankfully, there is 6 left. I don't need to worry about them. That is it. Finally. Ambush camp rush, job done. That is why I take this one on first. And by the way, there's no cutouts or anything of the loading times. I leave this, and unfortunately, some of the in between some of the challenges with the loading times, you're seeing this black screen come up. It's infuriating, especially as I'm playing this on a PS5 Pro. Some of them change over pretty quickly, but this one that I'm about to take on now, Dead Don't Ride. After I've completed this one, honestly, I think it's about 16 seconds of just seeing a black screen before it finally goes to where I need it to be. But anyways, enough moaning. On to Dead Don't Ride. The gold score for this is 80,000 points. Of the 4 sub-challenges, 2 of them will pretty much take care of themselves just with the run route that I'm going to be taking. And that is going to be the 5-star driver, which requires you to get 9 happy drop-offs. Not a big deal when you're doing it the way that I'm doing it here. And wild speed, you need 4 of these drop-offs simply from passengers that you've picked up inside red circles. These are the ones that are the longest distances. But my particular run route actually finishes with the 4th one, so it works out pretty nicely. The 2 I always have to concentrate on are Street Sweeper, where you require 20 swarmer kills, and I'm already working my way through them. And probably the most important one here, because this is the one that can catch you out if you're not careful with it on doing the challenge like this, is Close Call. You've got to make sure that you're close to the passenger every time in order to get this, and you require 12 of those. Now, normally I wouldn't give that one a second thought because there's like 35 people to pick up and drop off, but you're not going to be doing anywhere near that amount when you're looking to get the gold score. So right now, this particular run route, by the way, is a new run route, but by the time this video comes out, I will already have shown that particular new run route for Dead Don't Ride, so it won't be new to anybody by the time you're watching this video. Now, 4 potential swarmers that can be hit on this particular section here. And would you Adam and Eve it? I've missed one. I've missed two. That one that I missed there, though, I'm not worried about because I'll get another crack at him when I'm heading back. But I've actually missed 3 out of the 4 there, so that is slightly concerning. However, I'm moving on. It's you don't really have time to worry about this stuff. You just have to think about how you can fix it. Now, one route to the next one, there is another 2 swarmers, and now these are very important to get. There is a lot of swarmers that you can run down doing the route the way that I do it, but you can only miss so many of them. And by the way, I don't think I actually got a happy drop off there. I don't care. That is one where I'm quite literally just want to make sure I get as far up there as possible. And the reason why I'm never worried about that particular one is because I expect to get happy drop-offs on all of the rest. So right now, the swarmer up here that I missed before, I will get a second crack at. There we go, got him. There's another one up here, and I want to be right at the back of this circle, because from here I'm just going to do a quick reverse, and there we go, I've got my next fare. So here I am actually looking to cut down the speed just before that section there, because if you're going at full speed you'll actually hit the roof. So, and that will cost you a bit of time, so just a slight dab on the brakes sorts that all out. But right now everything is going really well for this one. The only thing of any nature that I'm bothered about is the swarmers, and now I potentially do have a bit of a problem, because there was another swarmer there that I had the chance of possibly getting, but he was already killed. Well, he or she. The swarmer was already killed, yeah. That is the only swarmer that you will ever get that problem with when doing this particular challenge in the run route order that I do it in. But now, heading up to this section here, I'm looking to take a right to head up this hill, and there is a swarmer up here. I want to make sure that I get this one. And from here, yeah. Just heading there, and that just sets me up nicely for the next one. Again, getting nice and close. So, there's another swarmer right here. I'm only going to get one shot at that one, so I have to make that count. Now, heading over to this bridge section, there is 4 of them. I always like to ideally try and take out at least 2. If you can get more than 2, great. But heading up here, just watch the line that I take there. It's it's a tough one if you're not used to it. What I actually suggest to everyone is when you're heading up that hill, the passenger that you see there, actually go through them with the cart, and that actually sets you up quite well. But now I am delivering a ripper here, so if there was any swarmers, I couldn't hit them, because I'd turn that happy straight away into an unhappy call. But right now, yeah, this is looking all right, and I don't even need to worry about getting close to that one, because I do have one more fare after this one. Because I do know now I've only got two more runs to do, or 2 more drop-offs. That is the first one. And I can see here right now, I still require 3 swarmers. Now there's one over here. Pretty important now that I get that one. And I just need to get close to this one. There we go. That is the close call taken care of. Fantastic. Now, 2 swarmers, and oh, thank you very much. They've just lined themselves up so nicely. And there we go. All I've got to do now is to get this passenger to the drop-off point, and then I just need to dump this golf cart into some water, and that will finish the challenge, because there's only 2 ways that you can actually stop this challenge, and one is either by drowning, or the second is to run out of time. And I ain't running out of any time in a hurry. It's 2 minutes and 40 on the clock there right now, so I'm just heading right over here. That ambulance is my guide. Past that, and there we go. Job done. That is dead don't ride taken care of. Okay, that's 2 down, 10 to go. And this is what I mentioned before. This absolutely kills me. This, I did actually time this. It was frickin' 16 seconds for this wait here. Anyhow, there we go. Finally. Okay, now I'm moving on to the bike challenges. I'm going to start with Hog Wild, and now I'm changing my character. It's going to be Ricky for the rest of the entire video. So here we go, Hog Wild. The accelerator must be held down throughout this entire run, and if you come off the bike at all, you will miss out on the gold standard for one of the sub-challenges that is called Won't Stop, because you must have at least 17 seconds or more on that clock on the top right there. Now, you've also got drive-by, working on that right now. You've got to kill 10 freakers in order to get the gold for that. And I didn't do too well there. I only got 2 of the freakers there, but that's okay. Just moving on. Hang time takes care of itself. You only require 20 seconds of airtime. And I'm trying to do a little bit more about the drive-by one now, and that's more like it. Already now I've got 6 of the 10 required. And the last sub-challenge is all to do with the nitrous. You need 60 seconds of boosting time, and if you're doing this fairly constantly, you shouldn't have a problem with it. Now, I do slow on that particular jump because I did have one of my previous runs where that pretty much ended it because I crashed the bike. And once you're missing a sub challenge, well, you've got to restart the challenge, unfortunately. Now, although it only probably would have cost me about a minute or so of time, at that point I wasn't happy about it. I expect to do well on these bike challenges. I'm not saying I don't make any mistakes, but I don't expect to make many. But right now, heading up here, I'm hoping to get the last freaker that I needed there, and I didn't get it. So I will get another chance here. Come on. Unfortunately, because I don't have the 60% better accuracy, which you actually unlock by completing this particular challenge, that's why at the moment the gunfire is just not very accurate at all. But I want that in place for Outride. And holy shit, there we go. That is one of the mistakes that I make on the bike challenges. Thankfully, it only cost me about 5 seconds, so not a biggie. But everything else is just about taken care of. In fact, everything is taken care of. Now, heading up the hill here, if you press the drift button, it actually acts as a very good brake until you get to the very top. So always make your life a little bit easier by doing that. But there we go. That is every single sub-challenge taken care of. The gold score assured in a big way, because it's 100,000 required for the gold there, by the way, which I didn't mention at the start. And let's see how long this takes. Thankfully, that one hasn't taken too long. So, Drifter's Run. I do want to get a ring in place, and it is all about getting the snake ring in order to repair the bike when doing drifting, because drifting does play a big part in this particular challenge. Right then, here we go. The gold score required for this challenge is 80,000 points. It's not a difficult one to hit by the biking standards. And the challenges, or the sub-challenges I should say, that I concentrate on the most are ramped up. The one now that I'm working on, you've got to go over 14 of these ramps, and you do be careful. I don't always go over them full speed. I just like to make sure I'm very accurate with them, because sometimes if you go off them at strange angles, they don't count. So do be wary of that. It's infuriated me on some previous runs that I was doing, so I've learnt my lessons. The other sub-challenges that have to be taken care of here, I did mention about drifting. You need to do 20 seconds of drifting, but it's not a big ask. I'm looking to take care of quite a number of those seconds right here, and there is some good sections at the very end as well to take care of that. And there we go. Always the way, when you think things are going too well, yeah, that can derail you. Okay, that's cost me a good 7 to 10 seconds, but you know what? Well, it's not a killer. If I'd crashed an outride like that, yeah, I would have been having to restart the run, but I can make this one work. Now, what other sub-challenges am I looking for here? I'm also looking to get a time of less than 2 minutes and 35 seconds in order to get the gold sub-challenge for that. And I think that's it, yeah. Airtime, 30 seconds of airtime required. You won't have any problems getting that here because you go over quite a number of jumps. My main focus when I'm doing this challenge is normally the ramped up. And I'm looking at that now, I'm in a very good place. 12 have now been taken out. Now I can really go to town on just try to get over all of these quickly. There is 3 more ramps in the way to the finish line. There is potentially another 2 that are off the normal route that you take to get to the finish line, but I don't have to worry about possibly having to go down to get one of those, because in fact that's taken care of. In fact, everything sub-challenge wise has been taken care of, and I'm going to get a 30,000 point bonus at the end for getting inside 2 minutes and 35 seconds, so gold score absolutely guaranteed. Worth pointing out, folks, as these challenges go on, I do start to use rings at certain points. Some of these challenges at the moment have not required too many of them, but Outride, yes, I'm going to add another ring, and it's going to be engine. This basically gives you more nitrous every time you're in the air. Definitely worth having for this particular challenge. Right then, Outride, 110,000 points is required for the gold score, and a lot of things that can go wrong when trying to take on this challenge. This sub-challenges require you to get 33 seconds of airtime. That is probably one of the most problematic ones, especially if you happen to miss a jump. You're required to get 25 seconds of drifting. As well as this, you've got to kill 15 of the freakers. And finally, you've got to keep the sick line going until it gets to 1 minute and 20 on the clock, and you can see that of the 4 boxes up there beside the score. The one on the far right that is constantly going up, that is your sick line, and as long as you don't lose your multiplier, that will continue. Now if you come off the bike at all, that's it, that sick line stops, because obviously your multiplier is going to stop at that point. And I have now given myself a potential problem. I have missed a jump that I normally expect to make, so now, yeah, I'm going to have to be extra wary when I get to the end. I'll see what I've got when I get to the last jump. Other than that, this is going quite well. I've got 9 of the 15 freakers required, or swarmers, and yeah, everything else is going according to plan. I do take a little bit of speed off that particular jump there because I don't want to miss the arch. If you do miss the arch, you're going to have to go back and go through it again, obviously costing you a bit of time. But yeah, right now this one I can afford to go a little bit further on. And yeah, now you've got a big section where you can work on the drifting. Although my drifting's in a pretty good place here. I've already got 22 of the 25 seconds required. The sick line has just about taken care of itself. It's just the air apparent. That is the one now that is bothering me a wee touch. Yep, I need 4 more seconds, and I'm hoping to get 3 of them here. Jesus. Okay, I've got 2. Now, I go over at an angle for a reason. And it is quite clever, because I'm looking to see whether it reads as 33 or 32. Because if it was as 32, I needed to sharply go to my left and get another 1 second of airtime in. If I'd crossed the line and I didn't have the 33 in place, I would have had to redo the run, which would have cost me a lot of time. However, moving on to reload, this is the other challenge that's going to take 2 runs. I want both rings in place for this. The first is bullets, and the other one is Lionheart, which will help with the focus, because this one is heavily focus based for well, certainly for one of the challenges, but not only that, to actually help you get the job done on this challenge. So start off hitting those 2 targets, then getting my first focus cocktail in place, and now I'm going to town on the horde here. I'm looking to take out 2 of the sub challenges. The first is concentrated. That requires you to get 60 kills while in focus mode, and the other one is called one shot, and I think that's to do with penetrative kills. Now, the third sub challenge, which I'm looking to take out here, is called Pyromaniac, and this requires you to get 125 explosive kills. So I'm doing this slightly different. I'm not going for those cylinders just before they get to them. I'm looking to take out the barrels and the cylinders when there is the most amount of freakers beside them. I want maximum damage. I'm not thinking about burning kills here. That's not going to be too much of an issue. I just want to get these taken care of. I've got 116 of the 125 required. I should hopefully get them all here. Okay, just shy. Come on. I just need 3 more. There we go. That's it. Resourceful, I am going to take care of on its own. It's always worth leaving that one and doing it on a second run, because the other 3 sub-challenges there you can take care of quite quickly. And the gold score for reload is only 80,000, so you generally find when you hit the 125 on Pyromaniac that you're already well past the score. But resourceful, this is how you get the job done for this. It's these makeshift bridge sections. Once the freakers start going over them, they creak and they break. And it's the amount of kills that you get once that makeshift bridge every time goes down. And as you can see already, I've got most of this taken care of. That is 40 of the 60 required. So this one will get the last of them done here. So there we go. That's all I needed to do. That is reload taken care of. That's also the founder rank. So any ring that I employ now on any of these challenges, I can get it completely maxed. So it's advantages upon advantages right now. The next challenge I'm going to be taking on is Dead Before Daylight. I do this because I've already got the rings set up for it. The rings that I used on Reload, I'm going to be using on this one as well. So while I'm waiting for it to load up, just start by saying the gold score required for this is 47,500 points. Not a big ask on this one. Truthfully, this is probably one of the least stressful ones because the sub-challenges required are not difficult to get. But not only that, you don't have to be thinking about pushing for as quick a time as possible here, because one of the sub-challenges requires you to stay in the house for the entire duration of the challenge, which is 5 minutes. So really, once this starts, you're just looking to get the other 3 sub-challenges taken care of, as well as obviously the gold score. But that, if you take care of the other sub-challenges, you're guaranteed you get the gold score. So I'm working on the first one here, which is called Alert. This requires you to get 50 kills while you're in focus mode. So I've already got a focus cocktail working right now, and although I'm bloody struggling to see them just before they're coming through the door because it is quite dark, yeah, I'm just going to try and take care of these ones reasonably quickly. This never does you any good in terms of the time, because obviously even though you're slowing everything down, but the actual time it's taking you to do the challenge obviously is a bit longer, because you're just slowing down the gameplay. You're not slowing down the time itself. So far so good. Yeah, and this does sometimes happen. I can see there's 1 or 2 of them stuck out there. This is another one of the glitches that you can get with the remastered version, because by the way, this is the remastered challenges that I am doing all this on. But anyways, at the moment, just working on this this alert sub challenge. Try to think of the name of it again. I keep on forgetting. But it's just about taken care of. Now, the other challenges that are worth mentioning are the one that I'm going to be working on in just a second. In fact, working on right now, which is Explodable. There we go. That's me got the alert sub challenge taken care of. So now I'm just thinking about this one. I just need 50 explosive kills. Once I can get past that lot. Yeah, the tractor is down. I'll just wait until they actually start to move towards me. Just gives most opportunities for getting as many kills as possible. And now I'm going to move back down to the ground section. I've still got a couple of other tractors. I'm hoping I will only require the one here. Yep, I've got 36 of the 50 required kills, and it looks like I'm going to get a rather large group here, so yeah, job done. All I need to do now is to get upstairs, because the last sub-challenge that I need to concern myself with now, and they're not making life easy for me, is to get to the Growler, and I require 100 kills, and that's called Obliterate. For anyone who's just going off the actual sub-challenge names. But yeah, some people might just prefer to take care of the 50 kills while in focus when you're up here, which is another good way of doing it, but I just like to get the alert sub-challenge out of the way nice and early. But now I've got a very defendable position. It's fantastic. All I've got to do now is to see out the rest of the challenge. And if you use the Growler like this, if you just use it in short bursts, you can keep the Growler going for the entire challenge from here. It's only if you start holding down the button and just absolutely rifling through your ammo that you can come undone. But then again, you've got decent weapons on you regardless. So at this point, I've already got the 100 kills. So I'm just keeping going with this because it is very effective. Even as the bodies are starting to pile up, this thing still cuts right through and gets to the targets. So pretty much anyone who is taken on this challenge, everybody's going to have the same sort of time-wise. Everybody's going to record the same time for how long it takes to do this challenge. And after this one, I am looking to take on, keep them safer. And trust me when I say, folks, that is a challenge where a lot can go wrong. One of my previous runs, which came up very abruptly to an end, came at the hands of that particular challenge. So finally, just about got this challenge completed, because the last sub-challenge that I need a gold on will kick in right now. So there we go, job done, moving on. And for the next challenge, I will definitely need a change of rings. The rings are hugely important for this one, but because I am maxed on my rep levels, I can get these fully upgraded. The first one is Fleur de Lis, that is for the bolt kills, and the second one is 1%er. So let's do this. Right then, the gold score required for this is 165,000 points. I'm first looking to go for the sub-challenge that's called Bolted. It requires you to get 50 bolt kills, and this is the easiest way of going about it. Do it from distance and try and get these all taken care of first. As well as this, on this particular challenge, you need to get 110 kills with headshots. That's probably the most problematic of all of them. And as well as this, one of the sub-challenges is called Untouchable. You need to do this complete challenge without taking any damage. And the last one is called Needless Risk, where you need to take out the whole of this horde without doing a dive roll. So Untouchable and Needless Risk work hand in hand. It's really just all about being safe, making sure you get the bolt kills in place, and most importantly of all, making sure you get the in-scope ones. Now, I do a bit of gunfire here first before hitting that barrel. It just primes that horde so that when you get onto the truck here, they're coming out in large numbers. Because if you don't get them coming out in large numbers, you're not going to get a good start on your headshots, and it can give you a nightmare in terms of getting the job done with headshots. And I can tell you that from a previously failed run, all because of this challenge. But right now, this is going pretty damn well. Looking to hit these barrels every time, obviously, to get the numbers down. But that is, at this spot, I'm in a fantastic place. 76 of the 110 headshots that I require, so this is most definitely going according to plan. Yep, just about there, just another 8. We'll get the job done. Come on, let me see it. There we go, and that is me already got the gold score. And just looking, kills remaining, 26, so I'm just ideally wanting to get them a little bit more bunched before hitting that barrel. Yeah, that's not a bad spot there. And again, damn. What have I got now? Just 2 left. Okay, there we go. They must have been pretty close together there because I thought I was only seeing one, but there we go, job done. And the next challenge that I'm going to be taking on is Survive. I normally would leave this until the very end, but given that I've had 1 or 2 very bad runs, I want to get this one out of the way before I started on the Endless Horde challenges. Just 1 ring there to change. I want the Joker in play, as well as that, the 1%er ring, which is huge for this challenge because one of the sub-challenges requires you to get 75 headshots. But here we go. One of the most annoying parts of this particular challenge is the first sub-challenge that I'm looking to take care of, and it is getting 6 stealth kills. And it can be a pain. If you get these 6 taken care of fairly quickly, then normally you end up having quite a good run. But I'm looking to get ideally 5 scrap, and there we go. I don't even need to go to the second car. I want that for the fire axe that I'm going to be using near the end of the run. If you've got scrap and you can actually repair that melee weapon, it makes all the difference. Even taking the time to raid that or loot that car engine there, it's worth it because you'll save a lot more time later on by having that extra scrap. But now we're moving on. Yep, headshots, very important. I will take the time to work on those as I'm looking to get these stealth kills. And in cases when I'm just struggling to get a stealth kill, I will sometimes just go for a melee kill. It really is all about getting things done quickly here, but this is a really good start. That's already half of the amount of stealth kills required. So, and if there's a time in this challenge that you can be a bit gung-ho about things, it's at the beginning, because the weapons that they carry at the start are really piss poor. Unfortunately, I'm having to use these piss poor weapons as well, but you certainly won't see me anywhere near as brazen as this later on in this challenge, because when they come out with the better weapons, yeah, they can end you quite quickly. But okay, nice. That's 4 of the 6. I'm going to get away with number 5 here. Maybe. Let's see what we get on here. Yep. He's gone out into into the open there, so you're never going to get him coming looking for you in a hurry there. So a very easy and quick decision to make there, just to take him out with the melee weapon. And that is one of the sub-challenges. You require 30 kills with a melee weapon, but 6 of those you will get when you're taking these marauders out with stealth kills, because obviously you're using a dagger, but the dagger is a melee weapon. So so yeah, right now, right, let's see which way this one's going. Sometimes double back on themselves, sometimes you get lucky, and you son of a bitch. Okay, I'm not wasting any more time with that one. Just move on. Just trying to keep things going along at a good pace. Because one of my runs that I finished in full, I did this as the last challenge, and I couldn't believe it when I played back what I took time-wise to do it. I took well over 20 minutes. And given that I've had a run before where I did this in, I think it was about 11.5 or 12.5 minutes, yeah, a run over 20 minutes just wasn't acceptable. So that complete run was scrapped from showing just because Survive went that badly. So I'm just trying to make damn sure that I don't get a repeat of that here. And once I do get these stealth kills out of the way, that's it. It's all about headshots with the occasional melee kill. So yeah, with the occasional melee weapon. But right, what weapons you got there? We go SAF. That is one of the primaries that I'm looking for. And there's just one more stealth kill to get. Oh yes, there we go. I wasn't sure if I was going to get away with that, but that's it. Now things will speed up. I can start thinking about looking to collect more of these items, but more importantly, yeah, and that melee weapon, I do want the sledgehammer. Very handy for some of the heavies, because that will actually kill them with one swing. But right now I'm looking to engage the marauders as quickly as possible and try and get these headshots going in a big way. I don't mind letting them know exactly where I am. It actually helps because then they take a more direct route towards you. If you stay silent, that's when they start spreading out and whatnot. You don't want that. You ideally want them all running at you so you can pick them off pretty quickly. And that one I'm not even I'm not even taking the time to try and pick that one off with a headshot. It's just a case of they were in an awkward spot and it's like, do you know what? You're just going to get it with a melee weapon. Right, here we go. A little bit tricky at times to see them with flashlights and that, but it's quite a nice feature actually. It's very realistic. So this is going quite well right now. As always, I keep a good eye on the minimap. It really is your guide here. Not only where they're coming from, but if there is any enemies that are nearby, close to your position, yeah, lets you know very quickly. And that one made the job very easy there. Now, yes, I am looking to get my hands on ideally 3 smoke bombs. I haven't actually picked any up yet, surprisingly, but that's okay. I've got plenty of time still. Oh, this is going to be quite handy here. Thank you very much, folks. MWS. Now, I look to keep this weapon for quite some time. The beauty of this weapon is you can get a ridiculous amount of ammo for it. Come on, where's the last? Do you know what? Just need to get the helmet off there, and that's it. Job done. So next lot, that's grand. I'm not worried about what melee weapon that one's got. It's of no real use to me. The sledgehammer far more beneficial at the moment, because the only ones that I'm really going to take the time to try and use the sledgehammer on are the heavies, the ones that have got a good bit of armor. Also, the ones that have the balaclavas on, they can also be taken out with one swing with the sledgehammer. Yeah, I don't mind them going over into that corner every time. It does make the headshot a lot easier. So again, I can see where they're coming from. That's it, just look to engage quickly. I'm not worried about getting these combinations on the multiplier. It's just handy. I'm just taking them out fairly quickly, which is why it's going up the way it is like that. I'm not going for any world record scores here. It's all about speed. But starting to get to the dangerous groups. Once you get past 60 marauders, then you start to get some interesting combinations of the Marauders. Not only in terms of the weapons that they have, but the sort of armour that they have and the weapons that they're carrying. But so far so good. This run is actually going very well. And I hope I haven't jinxed myself by day saying that. Oh, come on, Boris. Fuck's sake. Oh, that was embarrassing. That's karma just playing with you there. As soon as I'm saying it's going so well, and then all of a sudden I'm struggling to hit one fucking Marauder with a headshot. Over. Right, yes. This lot, interesting. You've got a couple of heavy hitters here. Come on. Now, this last one behind the tree, I'm just going to do a quick dive. And then, yep. And I will actually pick that up. It's just a backup weapon should I be in a tight spot at some point. Never a bad idea to have backup. Again, as soon as I can see them, even though they're some way off, always got the chance of getting headshots, and I like to make sure they know where I am early. And I've already taken care of the biggest threat there. That heavy that was head to toe in armour. Yeah, he can put your lights out very quickly. But those other two, yeah, all done. Now, very important, and this next group are so important for one huge reason. One of them is carrying a fire axe. It's the one that's coming over. I'm trying to wait until he gets close, and when he drops this, or when I drop him, I want that fire axe picked up quickly, because one of my previous runs glitched on me and that fire axe disappeared, and because of it I lost easy about 3 minutes, because I spent so much time looking for it, thinking that, oh, I knew roughly the area, it must be there. Turned out it wasn't, and because of that, the weapons that I had left at the end to do the melee kills with took a hell of a sight longer. It just pretty much destroyed the run, so that's why I was so keen on making sure I got that fire axe there. Now I'm in a good spot, because once I've got the 75 headshots, and I'm not far away from it, just 5 more to go, and I won't be long in getting them with this weapon now. The PDW is bloody fantastic. If you're still, and with that 1%er in place, look at how accurate this bad boy is. There we go. I've got all of the headshots now. Now it's all about the melee weapon kills. I've got to have 30 in order to get the job done. The other sub-challenge is getting 100 Marauder kills. And that is called Relentless. And I'm not far off there. In fact, I'm not far off getting the gold score as well. But you pretty much have to take this right to the end. So this first lot here, I'm going to get a smoke bomb in place, and then just go to town on this lot here. Damn, taking a bit of damage there. Right, that's the gold score, but it doesn't matter. I still need these other... the Relentless one, by far the most important, because if I did die and I had everything else taken care of, I would have to do the run again, but it would just be melee kills required, which is 30 of them, which, don't get me wrong, would still take a while given you don't have good melee weapons at the start, but this is why I wanted the scrap to be picked up at the beginning, because it prolongs the longevity of this fire axe, so that you can use it to devastating effect. Right, I've got no more left, but do you know what? The fire axe will see me through for the rest of this challenge. Now, I've only got one more group to come. And yeah, I've got one smoke bomb. I'll need it. 2 of these guys are head to toe in armour. They're the most dangerous ones by far. Good job, they're right at the very front here, so that's made things a bit easier. There we go. I've got it all done, but you know what here? Just because of the fact I'm virtually finished this, it's only about another 4 or 5 seconds. I thought, bloody screw it. I'm just going to take them all out there. Normally, I would be looking just to get a grenade in play and take myself out, but not required. There we go. That is just virtually done. That is 9 taken care of. The last 3, I require the same rings for all these Endless Horde challenges. Bullets and Ram. Bullets will fully restore your ammo when you do a dive roll, and Ram will regain stamina when you climb over items. And the first one of the 3 is Black Friday. And it's worth knowing, folks, that this is the one that I make what I consider my biggest mistake on. And it comes late in this run. But I'll explain more about that one later on. The gold score for this particular challenge is 250,000 points. Sounds a lot, but given that you have the use of a growler on this challenge, means that getting to that score is not going to be that difficult. Especially when you see how I get it here. This entire run is an extension on how I would normally go about getting just a gold score. And already I make a huge mistake. I come off that carriage there, and I'm worried that I won't actually pick up all the free careers there, but I do actually get them. I need to have over 100 here before I head up towards the growler location. So I'm just trying to get a few more ears if possible there. Right, 123, that is all good. Because once I get the growler, I'm looking to get to a very specific spot. And I know it's going to eat up a few seconds of my time, but I don't mind. There is good reason for doing this, because I want to get to an area where not only can I take them out reasonably quickly, but in a spot where I don't have to move too much and where I can instantly pick up the ears. That's important, because when you hear of some of the sub-challenges on this particular challenge, they are brutal. They require an awful lot of A, spending, and B, getting a hell of a lot of free careers. Because here are the sub-challenges. Start off with keep them safest. That requires you to get 1,000 free careers. Moving on to economy stimulation. You have to spend 1,000 free careers. So those two really do sort of work hand in hand. As well as this, you've got another sub-challenge called Who Needs Guns? This requires you to get 400 kills using either environmental resources, explosives, or incendiary kills. So pretty much anything that you can throw goes boom, basically, for that one. And finally, and this is the one that's going to take the longest amount of time by far, it's called Re-Gifted. You have to open up 10 surprise boxes. And although they appear at different locations every time, what you get out of them is completely random. But the locations that they are in constantly move about, and it takes quite a bit of time to open all 10 of them. So that is the one that I tend to prioritise. But of course, before I can do that, I need to have free careers so that I can afford to open up these boxes. The first 3 or 4 are not an issue, because they only go up by 10 free careers every time. The first box is 10 free careers, second is 20, third is 30, fourth is 40. You get the picture. But yeah, as you move on, by the time you've opened up all 10, I think it's between 400 and 500. I think actually the first 9 is something like 440 free careers required. But I'm looking to get 1 or 2 things in place here. Stamina cocktails, a must. Because if you ever run out of stamina on any of these challenges, you're in trouble. But I also want bandages, because I do expect to take a bit of damage. Now, the first of these boxes is beside the actual main sawmill itself. I'm not going to get anywhere near it at the moment, so do you know what? I've still got the growler here. I'm going to try and get more free careers. Again, I like using these areas because you're right beside where you're killing them, so you're picking up all these free careers every time. Just makes life so much easier. Already I've got a fantastic amount, so now I'm looking to get over to the first surprise box and then try my damnedest to work my way through all the rest of them. Thankfully, I've got quite a good knowledge of where they're all going to be, but this is very important as well. Carry that weight. That is one of the few perks that I go for, because that is the difference between picking up 3 explosive items every time and picking up 6. So let's see what I've got here. If I hadn't have got that, oh, that is perfect. Napalm Molotovs. I would have been looking to purchase some of those in the next 20-30 seconds if I hadn't have got the Molotovs there, because they do an incredible amount of damage. But I'm using the roof sections to get over to surprise box number 2. And by the way, very important to know, and I'm going to demonstrate it here, you don't have to wait until seeing what is available and picking up the item that is available there. All you have to do is to open the box. That is it. Sometimes I will wait for them, but for that second box down there, it was not in my interest, because all the freakers would have surrounded me and I wouldn't have been able to get up to that third box as quickly as what I was able to there. Now, the 5th box is actually going to be right here beside the MG55, but I need to get the 4th box opened up, which is right down here. So again, I have spent a little bit here, but I could ideally do with getting some more freaker ears. So maybe a bit more killing required, but I'll see how that... Oh, yep. Sidearm, I'll take that. It's never a bad one to have. And yeah, there's a few here. So again, getting to the end of this log pile here. And again, just trying to pick up whatever I can. And yeah, it's starting to get a little bit too dangerous now. Now, I've got to make my way up to that 5th one. I said before, yeah, you can actually see the light whenever I look over that way, but I know where it is. I know where all the locations are. The first 9 are always in very specific locations, and then they repeat. So the 10th box that I will eventually open up will be in the same spot as where I opened the very first. But obviously the first 9 are in different spots every time. Because after I've opened this one, the next surprise box is over at the Nero checkpoint. On top of one of the buildings, no less. So, okay, focus cocktail. Can't say I'm really too bothered about that, but I was hoping for something else. Just gonna... Can I get to that barrel there? No, never mind. Moving on. I always recommend for anyone that is taking on this challenge and going for all the sub-challenges like this, really prioritise these surprise boxes. They take an incredible amount of time to do. And how am I doing here? Oh damn. Oh shit. That was a mistake. I should have waited at that 6th box in order for it to disappear and then for that one to appear. Now, I totally forgot about this, because the mistake that I make later on is as bad as that one. In fact, I consider it worse. It's a case here of just, yep, I can certainly try and get some more freaker ears. I will have to come back over this section in order to get them. But I'm actually looking to do a loop back here. I don't want to be going all the way around. So let's see what I can do here. Yep, damn. Taking the odd hits. Right. Can this be done? Yeah, I'm gonna have to... Jesus. Oh boy, this is yeah, this is dangerous. I'm just trying to get a little bit of damage repaired there, and at this point I honestly thought my game was going to be over. I was just fricking going for it because I thought, no, I don't want to be losing minutes of time trying to get that box. And there we go, managed to get it open. That's it. Because I know all the fricking horde is over there, I can move, because the 8th box is way over the far side here. And yep, stamina's depleted, but that's okay. I've got stamina cocktails, I can use those. The next one is at the very bottom here. And the 9th box is actually just a few levels up from this. But I was about to say I'm not going to make the same mistake as what I did before, but that's okay. I know I've got to get up to this area And I lose my bearings just for a second, but there we go. Now I know where I am. It's alright, I have got a bit of time. That's the 8th box disappeared, so this one up here now, number 9. That's there for the taking, and yeah, I have second thoughts. It's like, you know what? Oh, and that was worth waiting for. Grenades. So I've got grenades, I've got napalms. And here we go. This is the final surprise box. And let's see what it gives us. Yep, frag grenades. Now here, folks, is where I make what I consider my biggest mistake. I've got 2 sub-challenges still to take care of. One of them is getting these 400 kills using explosives and whatnot. That should have been my priority here, but I don't. Yeah, I do fire a couple of napalms off there just to try and pick up some more ears around there, but I start going after the purchases. I didn't need to do this, because in the Nero checkpoint there is one of the perks called Head Rush. It costs 250 years, but if I'd taken care of the explosive kills in that first, I would have been able to just go over to that Nero checkpoint, get that final thing purchased, and that would have been me. I reckon I probably cost myself about an extra minute to a minute and a half doing what I did. In fact, probably a minute and a half of wasted time. And of course, the mishap with the surprise box, that was just amateur hour. That was stupid on my part. I know fucking better. And to compound to my misery here, I actually take the wrong way in trying to get out of this nearer checkpoint here. A little bit of, well, lack of composure. I'm really just starting to think at this point, it's like, damn, I've wasted a good bit of time. I don't know how badly it's going to affect my overall time, because on this particular run, I didn't actually have a stopwatch. I was just going for it and just seeing what I could actually produce come the end of all 12 challenges. So I'm just waiting for them to get a little bit more compact in terms of the groups down there. Yep, now I'm just going to rain down hell. And hopefully shouldn't have too much longer to wait. But like I say, this should all have been done about a minute and a half to 2 minutes ago. I should never have gone for trying to get those, purchase those weapons and whatnot. But anyhow, it's done now. So let's see. Shouldn't require too much now, but this last grenade here should do it. There we go. Finally, that is Black Friday taken care of. Okay, moving on. The next one is going to be, probably come as no surprise to people, I'm going for Infested. I am saving Surrounded until last because I want every advantage possible for that particular challenge. And this one I do have some good strategies for. And one at the very beginning, you need to be paying close attention to this one, because this is really handy to know. Now I'm throwing out an attractor there. First thing I want to do after that is to get an open zone in play. So, wasting one of my Molotovs, but it's well worth wasting. Now I'm looking to pick up a cylinder. You only get these counting when you're in an open zone. I'm looking to hit that roundabout there. Look at the frickin' kills I got there. 40 fucking 6. And by the way, you only require 75 kills using those oxygen tanks in order to get one of the sub-challenges taken care of. And it's normally the one that gives people the most bother. But right now, I'm working on another of the sub-challenges that's called Claustrophobic. You need to get 350 kills in total inside buildings. But you can actually get away with killing some of these in porch sections as well of certain buildings. But a word of warning as well, there's some buildings on this particular challenge where it actually glitches a touch, where you should be getting kills and you don't. So I have particular buildings, this is one of them that I do favour highly for getting kills for Claustrophobic, and especially that porch section as well there, you can use that too. Now, I'm just going to move this tank because I will get some use out of it later on. Over there will be fine, but right now I'm looking to create a permanent open zone for the entire game area, and this is how you do it. After that circle that was out there before completely disappears, go back into that room that you threw the Molotov at. Once you see that ray of light, that is it. Now you have an entire open zone. And what this means is now, any kills with the oxygen tanks will count anywhere that you happen to do them now. Not only that, one of the other sub-challenges that's called In the Zone requires you to get 400 kills while you're in an open zone. Well, now that this entire bit is open, yeah, that's just going to rise now with every single kill. And the beauty on this challenge is that you can really start to combine things together here, like throwing explosive items in a building, and so you're going to score on more than one of the sub-challenges. But right now, yeah, I'm looking to see what I can get here. I don't really have the numbers, but yeah, that's not too bad. All of a sudden now I've only got 15 left to get that particular sub-challenge taken care of. And as I mentioned before, it can be problematic to a lot of people, but as you can see, I'm making fairly light work of it. Knowing about the wee trick when you throw up the canister on top of a group that are buying a tractor, that is a fantastic strat to be using. And by the way, I have to give a huge thanks to the person who I seen do this first on a video called Flying Toast, a legend from Russia. Has some fantastic videos. All I can say is, Flying Toast, thank you so much, my friend. It really helped on this particular sub-challenge, because I'm going to take care of it rather quickly, thanks to seeing your strat for that. I think another one of the Russian YouTubers, Alex Lockouts, I think he does the same thing, and he as well is a ridiculously good Days Gone gamer. If you've not seen that gent's channel, check it out. It's got some good stuff. But right now, yep, I'm looking to get a tractor off there, and yeah, I'm going to go to town here now. This is another building that it does seem to register everything that you get kills wise inside. There are some that I avoid, but I'm making good work on that at the moment. Yeah. See, right in here, these are going to count because I'm in the porch area, so I'll get out. I'll possibly get some more towards that. Obviously, at the moment now, in the zone, I've already taken care of, and holy shit, I am in trouble at this point. I have done very well there to get out of that alive. But no, yeah, definitely worth trying to get some more things going here in terms of the explosive kills. And I think, if I remember rightly, I think it is 300 required for that. Yes, it is. I've got 250 of those taken care of at the moment, and so it won't be too long in getting the rest of those. Again, I'm going to go for this trick here, just get a tractor down, get right here. Let's see what I can do here. Because as you can see, it's going up there, 275, 280, 286. Now, I don't even need to be standing in this porch. As long as they're in that porch, when I start firing, like here, I'm still going to get the what counts for the claustrophobic sub-challenge. Now, this building here as well, this is also another building that does work quite well for this. And I say this for a reason, because some of the buildings, honestly, I've gone into and it barely registered a bloody shot for some strange reason. But there we go, I'm just about done. I actually take the time to bring this up just to see what I've got left, because at this point I was a little bit fried, but I shouldn't be, because this particular run here is going exceptionally well. I've taken care of it all in a very quick fashion indeed, given how much stuff is required here. So I'm hoping the last of these now I can take out with these barrels, and okay, it's going to have to be the special. Ugh, would you Adam and Eve it? This is going to have to be another fucking 2 shots. Okay, need another 11. Come on, petrol can, do your job. Oh, fuck off. And, oh man. This was getting painful at this point, and that again, narrowly avoided death, but I'm going to get it done now. There we go, thank you very much. Just set myself up now for Surrounded. And this challenge is no joke. 2 of the sub-challenges on this are extremely brutal. The other 2 ain't so bad, but this one really is all about stamina preservation in order to get the job done. I can't stress that enough, folks. You don't have the luxury of stamina cocktails. You only have the ring here called RAM that can regain stamina for you. And the only health items that you can get, you actually have to find and pick up first, which are medkits. But here we go. This is how I like to start. I've got an attractor at the ready. I'm going for one very specific barrel right at the start. You need 100 kills using these barrels. I go for this one first because I can go up here, get the Chicago chopper, and get my hands on the medkit nice and early. So now, there we go. That's getting started on that one. Down here, trying to avoid getting hit by any of the freakers. Now I'm looking to head down to the bottom section here. I want another attractor right there. Because in general, I like to work in one particular area of Sherman's camp in order to get all the freakeriers. But there isn't that many barrels in the area that I normally work at. So I like to take care of a lot of the barrel sub-challenge early, which is called calculation. But anyhow, I picked up all the freakeriers that I could from those barrel kills. I'm looking to get up here because there is a medkit, some more ammo, and very importantly, the only napalm Molotov that you can actually pick up on this challenge. And so far, I'm doing pretty damn well on calculation. 40 was the maximum I could have got at this point, but I'm not far away from it now. I'm looking to get a great number of items out of this next building I'm going into. So I want an attractor bomb down right there. Just something just to slow them down enough, because there's grenades in there, and there is another 2 attractors that I can get my hands on, which are badly needed. And I generally just use the attractors for getting the barrel kills. Now, there is another sub-challenge called Trapped. This requires you to get 100 kills using either these mines or the remote bombs. And you've got quite a few of, I think you've got 6 of each, so this one is quite an easy one to get. I tend to just use these randomly throughout this run. But the last 2 sub-challenges, these are the brutal ones. One of them is called Earful. You need to pick up 999 freakeriers. That does take a wee while. And the last one is called Ranked. This requires you to get a high score kill chain of 300. But what you actually do require for that is 350, because the first 50 kills are required before your ranked stats start to go up. So at the moment now, just looking to use 1 or 2 of these mines when it's safe to do so. Yeah, still okay at the moment, but I have seen another horde spawning, so heading up this way, and yeah, going to use that vehicle there just to get a little bit more stamina. Again, remote bomb. I like to use them here because it's just a nice safe spot. Even if I don't get many kills, it doesn't matter. I'm looking to do the majority of the damage with the mines that I've got. And yeah, there is a few freakers below me, but nowhere near enough to warrant throwing any items down on them. But yeah, I do need to think about this ranked sub-challenge. And now I'm going to do something about it, because I know there is another horde on the way that is spawned. So looking just to get this started for me here. Right. As in previous runs, when I'm going for a long time in Surrounded, this is normally the area that I like to start getting the multiplier going on, because you funnel them very nicely up here, and it just makes the job a whole lot easier. Everybody knows when you're taking on hordes, if you're in open spaces, they try and flank you in a big way. They can still sort of do that here, but it's a lot harder for them. They generally just follow the one path. Apart from those ones that managed to get the drop on me there, but never mind. Right, I am going to have to move a little bit here. I don't like doing this. I did mention before about this that I like to keep the horde and work in one particular section of Sherman's camp. That's so that all the free careers are in the one area so I can collect them quicker. I tend to do a workaround of a certain part of Sherman's camp. And this area here I don't normally come to, so... Damn, right, medkit time. I've got a couple of them, so just get one used at the moment. Again, just trying to keep an eye on where the horde actually are here. I'm looking to get back up to the top section. Obviously, I'm still working on the multiplier here, or the ranked, and I'm very close to it. That's grand. That's the gold score taken care of, which is 120,000. Just require another 16 kills now in order to get another one of the sub-challenges taken care of. But I've seen all of these hordes spawning here. I want a safe spot. If I happen to lose that flipping that ranked thing at the moment, the sub-challenge, it's like, well, so be it. Staying alive is the is the ultimate goal here. So, yep, and unfortunately I have lost the multiplier there, but you know what, it's not a problem. I'm going to get plenty more opportunities to get the last that I need. And because I only require 16 more on that chain, that's effectively, I've got to get another 50 kills first to start the chain. So it's just another 66 required on the multiplier. And you know what, I'll take care of that right here. There we go, I'm past the 50, and there we go, I've got the rank taken care of now. So at this point, definitely have to consider doing a bit more work now in order to get the trapped sub-challenge taken care of. And yeah, right now I've just seen all those hordes spawning again, so that's it, I don't care, I just want to get to some safety here. I've lost my stamina, and yep, just want to climb there. I'll get another climb here, plus get a remote bomb going there. I should get maximum 10 kills on that one. God, I'm taking more hits, but now, you know what, yeah, just get a cheeky grenade down there, try and make sure I'm away from it. That's another 30. Right. Just all about survival here, nothing stupid. And obviously working on trying to get some good carnage going here, but I do have a medkit that I can use, and yeah, napalm molotovs. If they're as heavily bunched as what they look like, oh yeah. As I said before, this challenge is brutal. Look how quickly you can lose all your health. And I don't have any more medkits. Again up here, but I've got the napalm molotov at the ready. I want to hit them at the bottom here because there should be a good pile of them now. Oh yeah, that's more like it. Nice. Yeah, need some more of ammunition. And really looking to take care of the trapped sub-challenge very soon. Obviously, I'll need to head away from my usual hunting grounds here in order to get another barrel hit. Same time here, yeah, just watching. Yeah, do you know what? I probably will get the chance now, as these explosive cases should also contribute towards the calculation. And yep, I actually registered another 10 there, so that's all good. But I'm moving along even further here. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be at risk of getting hit by any surprise hordes. Normally when you get this far over, you've got them all coming at you from the one direction. Now, that's all of the hordes spawned again. Let's see what I can get here. There we go, that's calculation taken care of. just for fricking good measure. I'm just going to hit that barrel anyways. So, getting there. Still need another 21 kills for the trap sub challenge. And then of course I've got to get 999 free careers, but I'm not that far away from it. And how am I doing down here? Okay. Again, because I'm probably going to have to be making another pass, so just get what I can there. And I'm going this way for a reason. There's ammunition up here. Not only that, but I want to bunch them. So I'm going to get up here, hopefully when I eventually turn around I should have a good group of them. There we go, nice. Yep, I knew it was always going to take 2 of these, but there we go. That one, it doesn't matter how many it takes out, guaranteed I was going to get that taken care of. Now, again, just being ultra safe here, I want to head back up to this section here, so I'm going to get some more, well, I've already picked them up. But again, looking to use a napalm Molotov right here. Now, the thing is, realistically, and I didn't actually pay much attention to this at the time when I was doing the challenge, but I'm actually seeing kills-wise 1,150, so there should be enough free careers around now to pick up to actually get the job done. But at the time I wasn't quite thinking that way. It was just a case of just keep looping them, just focus on survival. You've come this far, you want to get the job done. And now I am so close. Taking a slightly different route here. Yep, frag grenade. Might as well get one of those out there. The idea being that if I do have to make one more pass, I'll definitely get the ears from that section alone. But I can't possibly head back over into that group there, or I'm going to get absolutely done over. And so close to the end. Right now, this really is it's on a knife edge, this one. So I'm just looking at the mini-map here of potentially where I can get more free careers from. And now it's a case of I can potentially do it right here, because I just need to stay here. And there we go. The clock is stopped and it has taken 1 hour, 22 minutes and 47 seconds. Absolutely delighted with that. That's a pretty damn decent time, given that I've gone through all 12 challenges, completed all 12 to a gold score, and gold standards for all of the sub challenges. No easy feat. So the last thing to do is, once it finally brings me back up to the main page, which I couldn't care how long it takes this time, because I'm not on the clock now, just need to go through all these to show that not only have I got the gold scores on them, but you can see that what I had shown is actually all here. So you know I've not been cheating in any way, shape or form. I did have to make this video where it was done in 3 cuts, but the cuts were actually done while I was actually playing a couple of the challenges. One of the cuts came at the very end of Dead Before Daylight, and you'd be struggling to see it. I sliced them in so bloody well. And the other one came during Black Friday near the end as well. I didn't want to do it during one of the times where the loading was taking place, because in my mind that would be cheating. By doing it while the actual challenges were taking place, you can see that the clock is constant on them, because they all have times on them. So there we go, folks. That is it. That's one hell of a run. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I may even take the time to try and beat that at some point, but for the time being, I'm just happy to show this all to the Days Gone faithful. That brings me very nicely to the end. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.